Welcome to my presentation about the tech-based solutions that I would propose to Seabourn to improve and develop their business. My name is Nicholas, and let's get right to it. Here are today's topics. So, what is Seabourn? Seabourn consistently ranks as the finest luxury cruise line at sea, proven time and time again by Condé Nast Traveler and Travel Leisure Awards over the years. Seabourn ships are comparatively small. They carry 200 to 450 passengers as opposed to other mainstream lines who typically carry 2 to 4,000 passengers aboard a much larger vessel. Due to this fact, however, Seabourn guests can enjoy a much more spacious and intimate experience thanks to its near 1-to-1 crew-passenger ratio and 170 passenger space ratio, where the typical mainstream lines ratio is 1.4 and 135. Luxury cruise lines sell almost similar features like spacious cabins, excellent service, incredible itineraries, etc. To set apart from its main competitors in the industry, Seabourn focuses on experiences ashore and interactions with local people and culture. Its partnership with UNESCO offers shore excursions and onboard enrichment that focuses on World Heritage sites and projects. So, who are the typical clientele of Seabourn? According to Cruise Critic, the largest cruise community website, the age group is mixed from late 40s to 70s, mostly affluent couples, extremely loyal customers with 50% repeaters who already have formed strong bonds with the crew, as well as being down-to-earth, friendly, and welcoming. In a journal article by Vladimir, his market study shows that the average couple pays $20,000 or more for a typical Seabourn 14-day cruise in a standard suite. In addition, he noted that the average household income of Seabourn's clientele is around $200,000. According to an article by Norton, she mentions an interview with Seabourn's then-president Richard Meadows, where he describes that typical clientele are very interesting and accomplished people. They like to travel in style, tend to come back often, even booking their next cruise while on board, and they are affluent and adventurous travelers who want the best of the best, and also they expect and require impeccable ambiance and service. All Things Cruise mentions that Seabourn's travelers are those who prefer destination-rich small ship cruising, so those who value impeccable service, superb cuisine, and relaxed, laid-back luxury over the flash and glitter. They're mature, sophisticated, well-traveled passengers who enjoy the finer things in life. So, as we can see, perhaps not the type of clientele who requires the latest industry tech, as they value experience more than anything. Still, by not having essential techs would be detrimental to their image as an ultra-luxury cruise line. So, who are their main competitors of Seabourn? Firstly, we have Silversea. It's a subsidiary of Royal Caribbean Group. Silversea is perhaps the most relevant competitor for Seabourn, as they have many similarities, offering expedition destination, small ships, being all-inclusive, though they generally do better in terms of dining option variety and cost compared to Seabourn. Then we have Regent Seven Seas, a subsidiary of Norwegian Cruise Line. Regent is easier to differentiate. They are the embodiment of subtle luxury, or classic luxury, if you will, while Seabourn offers a hip environment to mingle with others, being more active. They also have larger ships with large staterooms and true all-inclusiveness, which makes them pricey. As with their size, they can offer more variety in terms of onboard entertainment. Moving on to the SWOT analysis. For their strength, Seabourn is a well-established brand with 7.6% market share in the luxury segment. It is also the best overall cruise line performance, scoring 79.6 out of 100, Regent scoring 76 and Silversea 75, based on an algorithm that measures 124 touch points regarding their ability to deliver on its commitments and the quality of management and staff. For the weakness, now I find Seabourn hard to criticize on its major weaknesses considering how well they've delivered. Still, there are areas where their main competitors do better, which are dining option variety, onboard entertainment variety, and cost. Of course, there are also opportunities. There is a growing market with 5.4% annual growth rate of passengers for the whole cruising industry from 2009 to 2019. Growth of silver-haired tourists. Currently, 9% of the world population is aged 65 plus in 2019, and that number will grow to 16% in 2050. There will be an increasing number of potential passengers for this segment in the future. For the threats, competitors building new modern ultra-luxury ships, especially Silversea constructing 3 new ships, Regent with 1, Seabourn with 1. While the overall fleet of Seabourn is the most modern, Silversea is ramping up capacity fast, so they are to keep an eye on. Seabourn is speculated to be sold to the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Carnival Group, Seabourn's parent company, is currently burdened with $35 billion of debt in order to survive the pandemic for the last 2 years, while annual profits before COVID only reached $3 billion. Many industries in the US received immense government assistance in the pandemic. Carnival received none. The company is incorporated in Panama to avoid some US taxes. Though this strategy backfired big time during the pandemic, without government help, Carnival took on a gargantuan debt. Stocks plummet to $12 per share from $72 pre-pandemic levels, as investors are hesitant on Carnival's ability to service those debts. While there's yet an official statement from both sides, Seabourn's future may be in a state of limbo. So the ultra-luxury cruise industry tech review. The Wi-Fi, limited bandwidth and latency have been a constant headache for cruise companies to further develop internet-based IT solutions. As opposed to land connections, ships at sea must transmit data to satellites 22,000 miles in the air and back. The current solution to increasing capacity is to add more giant globe-shaped communication antennas on the top deck. But as space is at a premium and antennas costly, it'll require a smarter solution to work around this issue. In-house app. Based on the target segment age group being older than 50, in-house apps would inherently have a harder time to be adopted. I think that is one of the reasons why the in-house apps of the ultra-luxury segment is way below the standard compared to mainstream cruise lines who have a younger audience. Seabourn has the best app in the segment, but still has some work to do. Regent's can't be considered an app. Its sole function is to be a receiver for guided excursion audio from the tour guide to the passenger. While Silversea doesn't even have an app. Clearly here, the bar is set very low, unfortunately. And yeah, about that, Seabourn's source is the in-house app designed to be a personalized travel management software where guests can view events, book excursions, and customize their itineraries. There's also a feature to complete passenger registration beforehand and a digital boarding pass, complete with boarding times and groups, which expedites the embarkation process. Now, tech solutions. If I were asked to develop a business solution, I'll prioritize solving current relevant problems rather than chasing baseless, far-fetched ideas. Ask the why first before the what, not the other way around. So with that said, here are the key areas that I find worth improving upon. Wi-Fi. Seabourn only recently announced that it offers free Wi-Fi for 1 device per passenger for basic web surfing on July 2021. For streaming, passengers may opt to upgrade to 4 devices per passenger, allowing video streaming, internet telephony, VPN, and cloud storage services for a fee. Well, at least they've caught up to their competitors now, but their complacency really has no excuse. Silversea has implemented this since 2018 and Regent since 2014. Again, bandwidth and latency is a constant headache for cruise lines. To resolve latency issues, MTN Satellite Communications developed SpeedNet, which separates and transmits popular websites through a separate bandwidth from the main channel essential for communications, as not to slow down each other, and it has proven to load significantly faster, almost twice as fast. 7 other cruise lines have made a deal to implement SpeedNet, including Regent. To resolve the bulky antennas taking up precious deck space, a company called Phasor is set to develop a 1 meter squared flat panel antenna that could fit on the side of the ship, freeing up space for other amenities on the top deck. One can only imagine. Website. Seabourn's website is clean looking, but guests complain that the site is buggy. For example, the language setting can be stuck to German. There are bug fixes to do overall, but nothing major. Perhaps if I were to add something to the website is to add a live chat support staff or a chatbot on the homepage, a feature that's on the rise lately, but it's only nice to have. In-house app. Now, this deserves a bit of scrutiny. Even if it's the best app in the luxury segment, there are several critical complaints by guests, namely UI UX. Incompatible with several devices, clunky UI, no search function. Not a fatal flaw, but it deserves a system design update. Users would love to have a seamless experience after all. Local info. There are no local information of the destination. Local maps, transportation options, local tips. Guests would like to learn more regarding the destination they're about to visit. And since seaborne destinations are set in advance and unlikely to change that much, general information on each local environment should be cached inside the app so that guests won't require an internet access every time they want to view crucial content for the next excursion. Also, to facilitate guests who want to interact with locals, the local tips section should provide essential phrases and perhaps adding Microsoft Translate's text-to-speech or speech-to-speech function in the app as well. Local maps should include popular destinations, restaurants, and transportation hubs. Also, the app is too dependent on onboard internet system to use effectively. This is especially concerning if Seabourn plans to rely more on the app to cut labor costs by making crucial actions such as excursion bookings through the app rather than a sure excursion rep. A guest mentions that when the onboard internet fails, the app would be unusable at best. Since Seabourn values service excellence, I'd like to see the app work in tandem with the crew instead of replacing them entirely. This would also help to organize a plan B when the app unexpectedly fails to serve its purpose for itinerary changes due to Hurricane Ian or Fiona recently. Well, there you have it. 3 solutions that I would propose to improve and develop Seabourn even further. This marks the end of my presentation, and here are the references used in the making of this project. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to our next project.